राष्ट्रगानम
National Anthem.
मंगलाचरणं प्रस्तूयते।
Invocation.
जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालयस्य कुलगुरुवर्या प्रोफेसर शान्तिश्री धुलिपुडी पंडित महोदया निवेद्यते आरंभं कर्तुम्।
May we request Honorable Vice Chancellor of JNU, Professor Shantishri Dhulipudi Pandit, to begin the proceedings, please.
Yes, Vice Chancellor.
कुलगुरु महोदया, अतिथीनां स्वागताय निवेद्यते.
May we request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate the Chief Guest and the Guest of Honor.
माननीयां कुलगुरुवर्यां प्रोफेसर शांतिश्री धुलिपुड़ी पंडित महोदयां वक्तव्यं प्रस्तोतुं निवेदयामि.
May we request Honorable Vice Chancellor to kindly deliver her address.
Respected Honorable Vice President of India, respected Minister of State, Ministry of Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, Honorable Ambassador Kanwal Sibal, our Chancellor of the University, my Registrar, Rectors, Faculty, and dear passing out students. Let me at the outset congratulate you on the 7th Convocation of Jawaharlal Nehru University in the 55th year of its, coming into being. In the last 1 year since I took over as Vice Chancellor 2 years ago, we had the 6th Convocation, sir, last year. And this convocation, I would like to bring to your notice that JNU still tops the NIRF rankings among the universities of India. So the JNU experience has been a rare exemplar in higher education, translating rhetoric into action, whether addressing concerns of caste, gender, or other marginalized groups. JNU has emerged as a mainstay of empowerment and upliftment. Our campus proudly leads in creating an inclusive environment, drawing students and faculty from every corner of India. It provides a unique setting, unrivaled even by institutions with massive financial endowments. It epitomizes the diverse tapestry of Bharat, where individuals are evaluated not based on any identity or appearance, but their character. And let me tell you, sir, we are the university totally funded by the Ministry of Education, and we thank the Union Government of India for its steadfast commitment to Jawaharlal Nehru University. And I hope in future it will be so, sir, and we will live up to the aspirations of NEP 2020, and most of the programs of NEP 2020 have been implemented by all schools, including skilling. And let me tell you that the student strength also has grown in the post-COVID period, with women students outnumbering the male students. As for implementation of NEP 2020, 192 academic programs have been implemented. New MA programs have been begun in different schools. Revision of syllabus in UG and PG programs as per NEP 2020 has begun. JNU seeks to mold young minds through multi and interdisciplinary graduate and postgraduate programs. Also outreach activities. And in rankings, JNU is 119 in Asia and is in the top 50 in subjects internationally in the QS rankings in sociology, politics, geography, modern languages, English language and literature, anthropology, history, and philosophy. Let me also say that the highest faculty is now in the present regime. I thank the ministry for permitting us to recruit faculty. Let me tell you, sir, in its 54-year legacy, JNU proudly asserts that no posts have been de-reserved. Today, faculty recruitment in the reserved category is at its highest point in the university's history. A meticulous breakdown of recruitment is given here. Out of, in the 19 months of my administration, 69% of those recruited are from the reserved categories. To break it up, 31% from the unreserved, 33% OBC recruitment, and 13% scheduled tribe, and 19% scheduled caste. Let me tell you, this administration also brought in the first professors in the scheduled tribe category. So let me say we are implementing the Prime Minister's mission and vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas or Sabka Prayas. And finally, I would only like to say we are very proud of our national character. Honorable Vice President, sir, let me tell you that every military officer, naval officer and air officer is a JNU graduate. The Chief of the Indian Army is a JNU graduate, so we are extremely proud that we are committed to the national movement and to Vikasit Bharat 2047. And recently our students also from arts and aesthetics have been shortlisted for the Oscar Awards. Sir, we are the only university in the country to produce 2 Nobel Prize winners in economics, Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee. So let me tell you, this university rededicates itself to the Amrit Kal and to the best of India of inclusivity, diversity, equity, equality. And hence, we are committed to Amrit Kal and Vikasit Bharat of 2047. Let me congratulate the 774 graduates who got their doctorate degrees today. And I tell you that this is the best part of your life. Go out and prove yourself. Thank you once again, sir. I thank the Vice President for giving his time despite a very busy schedule. Most of you would have seen on the television, he was busy in Parliament. I thank you, sir, for coming to JNU and say, please come again and again. We would be extremely happy. And once again, welcome to the Minister and to all these graduates who are passing out and to our Chancellor. Thank you so much. Vande Mataram. Jai Hind. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
सम्प्रति जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालयस्य कुलसचिवं प्रोफेसर रविकेश महोदयं निवेदयामि दीक्षांत समारोहम् आरब्धुम्.
May we request our registrar, Professor Ravikesh, to kindly begin the exaltation ceremony.
Madam, I pray that the students who have been examined during the period from 16th January 2023 to 15th January 2024 and found qualified for the award of Doctor of Philosophy may be admitted to the said degree for those present and in absentia.
By virtue of being the Vice Chancellor of by virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of this university, I admit the students who have been examined during 16 January 2023 to 15 January 2024 and found qualified for the award of Doctor of Philosophy for those present and in absentia.
I request the Director of Admission to initiate ceremony of conferment of the doctor degrees.
स्वीयं वक्तव्यं प्रस्तोतुं माननीयः कुलाधिपतिः श्रीमान् कंवल सिब्बल महोदयः निवेद्यते.
May we request Honorable Chancellor of JNU, Ambassador Kanwal Sibbalji, to deliver his address.
Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep, Dhankhar ji, Honorable Minister of State of Education, Shri Dr. Sarkar ji, Vice Chancellor of the Jawaharlal University, Professor Shri Tulipudi Pandit, members of faculty and staff, dear students, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 7th Convocation of the prestigious Jawaharlal University. Now I had a difficult task before me because a convocation address is not easy to deliver. One is required to say something that is edifying, inspires, motivates, gives an original perspective, contains words of wisdom derived from one's life experience and so on. It is difficult to measure up to this expectation, especially as the youth of today are much better informed and give actually edifying and instructive lessons to people of our generation. You are not fresh entrants to university life. You are not novices. A PhD is the highest academic degree that can be achieved. In your respective domains, you have mastered the subject, demonstrated your expertise in research, and developed valuable skills. Your degree requires you to be team players, problem solvers, possess presentation and communication skills, besides having an analytical mind. Completing a doctoral program requires discipline, knowledge, and tenacity. Your high academic qualifications are an asset for the country. In whatever field you will work, you will be part of the developing India story. And this story is full of promise. We have become the 5th largest economy and should be the 3rd largest by 2030. We are making advances in the area of critical technologies, and what we achieve in this field will be decisive for our future. With our successful Chandrayaan-3 mission, we have become a major space power. Our Atmanirbharta goal befits our ambition to be a leading power. We are more than 1/6 of humanity and now the most populous country in the world. There is inherent strength in this. We cannot be ignored. At the international level, our voice is now heard with more respect. By maintaining our strategic autonomy, we are a bridge between North and South as well as East and West. Our leadership of the Global South has strengthened our diplomatic hand. The success of the G20 summit has boosted our international stature. As we grow, the shift in global political and economic power towards the East will be accelerated. We have the ambition to be a developed economy by 2047, which will be built on our revived civilizational foundations. The graduates of today could not have found a better time to mature academically. The next 25 years is our Amrit Kal, as Prime Minister Modi underlines repeatedly. Our strength is our youth, of which you are a vital part with your high qualifications. Our ambitions at the national level are clear, the vision is there, but our success in nation building depends on the aspirations and efforts of our youth. You are the future leaders of the country, the creators of positive change, driving economic, technological, and social progress. Thousands of Indian PhDs are working for multinationals in India and creating intellectual property rights for them. We should be creating India-owned IPRs. For those who are in the technical fields, your endeavor should be to be part of that ambition. For those who have specialized in international relations, you can today contribute a lot more than in the past to our foreign policy formulations, as thinking in our Foreign Office has changed and interaction with academics and their inputs are now a part of the ecosystem. Jawaharlal University, with its many school centers and special courses, is playing a leading role in producing knowledgeable minds in diverse disciplines. Earlier known as a center of excellence in fields such as arts, economics, environmental, and life sciences, it is also now establishing its name in fields such as engineering, business management, and disaster management, etc. The university is expanding the range of its disciplines so that it remains in the front lines of academic studies. This is evident from the impressive list of disciplines, I believe there are 73, in which these almost 800 PhDs are being accorded today. The university has renewed its pledge to the development of Bharat by adding a motto to its logo, Tanso Ma Jyotir Kamaya, meaning lead me from darkness to light. The university is trying hard to modernize its infrastructure and has secured financial assistance for rupees 496 crores from the centre's higher education funding agency for the construction of nearly 10 projects within the campus. This is a good beginning, but not enough. This premier university should have the look of one. A facelift is badly needed. Of the many inspiring thoughts bequeathed to us, I'll end by quoting Chanakya, who said, "Education is the best friend. An educated person is respected everywhere." And Swami Vivekananda, who emphasized the importance of persistence and relentless pursuit of one's goal when he said, "Rise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached." And more contemporaneously, R.A. Michelker, who said that the most powerful equation is not that of Newton's second law or Einstein's equation E is equal to mc squared, but E is equal to F. Education, here E stands for education and F is the future. Education is equal to the future. I would add myself, A is equal A, where achievement is equal to aspiration. Thank you.
माननीय कुलगुरु महोदय निवेद्यते सम्माननीयम उपराष्ट्रपति महोदयम आह्वातुम्.
May we request Honorable Vice Chancellor to invite the President.
Good evening, all of you. Dr. Subhash Sarkar, Honorable Minister, Government of India for Education, Sri Kamal Sibal, Chancellor of JNU, a distinguished diplomat, and you had the benefit a while ago of his erudition. He has indicated in his brief address a sense of what is in store for you and what are the contemporaneous opportunities and challenges. A man of great learning, he being Chancellor of JNU, speaks volumes. It is bound to be on rise forever. Professor Shanti Shri Dhulipudi Pandit, Vice Chancellor JNU, a firebrand. Am I right? And why not alumnus of JNU? And the first woman Vice Chancellor of JNU. I am having second encounter with her today. The first was in Gujarat University. There also the Vice Chancellor was a woman. Distinguished members of the faculty, Sri Sunil Gupta ji, Secretary to the Vice President of India, and for whom I am here, dear students, boys and girls. Congratulations to all of you for getting PhD. I have a special fancy for PhD degree. I don't have one. My wife has. And she keeps on telling me, only wiser people have it. Well, that's an ignorance about legal profession, of which Mr. Kanwal Sibal knows much because of family situations. This is my second visit to the JNU. The first one was, I think, about a decade ago. I came here to address on human rights. Professor Mahapatra presided over that function. I said, in the entire theater, I was the only one not from JNU. In the corner, one boy got up. I said, sit down. You must be Jat from Jojno. I am one. My expectations from JNU are very high. You are a brand too well known. Sometimes it is very dangerous to be too well known. You are. I have no doubt I am before the right audience at the right time. Discerning minds with enormous potential to hear my suggestions. I am not qualified to give any advice. In any case, unsolicited advice is never respected. You haven't solicited it. I am so glad that the Vice Chancellor did not conceal her real design and colors. You had on January 3, 2024, a celebration of liberation pioneer Mata Savitri Bai Phule. But that doesn't make her gender bias. She cares for all. I tried to find out how many of the PhDs have been given to the girls. I'm sure the number must be balanced. But when a mention was made about representation of girls, the boys clapped more vigorously. So girls, take note, our gender is very accommodating and tolerant. I must make you aware about the contemporaneous governance mechanism in the country at the moment. Not that you are not aware of it, but sometimes the obvious has to be stated. I have seen governance for a long time, because first I was elected to Lok Sabha, and the only time I was elected, 1989. I had the great fortune to be a member of the Council of Ministers. And at that point of time, we suffered the pain that our physical gold had to be airlifted, to be placed to 2 banks in Switzerland, to sustain our fiscal credibility, because our foreign exchange was fluctuating between $1 billion and $2 billion. Now, boys and girls, it is over $600 billion. You can be safe. As a member of Lok Sabha, I was gratified, so were my colleagues, that in a year we could give 50 gas connections to anyone we like, gas connections. And we have a Prime Minister who gave 100 million gas connections to needy households free, and everyone has access to that. That's a big change that has come. The governance ecosystem earlier was very difficult. Power corridors were infested with corrupt elements, lies and agents. People were around who extra legally leveraged the decision making. They controlled everything. That was against meritocracy. The good thing that has happened now is power corridors have been duly sanitized. Lies and agents are nowhere to be seen. The big change you will feel that you are walking into a system where you have every opportunity to fully exploit your talent and potential, realize your ambitions and dreams. It is so easy now. It was so difficult then. Another good change that has come up is there is total transparency and accountability in governance. And that has been brought about in a systemic manner. It has been fueled by technology also. That's another big change. What do youth of today need? They need that democratic values are respected, they are nurtured, they blossom. And a fundamental premise of democratic values is equality before law. Democracy has no meaning if some are more equal than others. If some people carry an impression that they are beyond the reach of law, law can do nothing to them, they have some kind of immunity, then all of us, whom they call ordinary mortals, are put to shame. But now that's gone. Everyone is accountable to law. Everyone has to answer the call of law. And I'm sure you know it more than I do. This is the ground reality today. Even last 48 hours you would have seen dramatic events. So corruption is no longer rewarded. Respect to law has been enforced. The greatest gainer of that is you boys and girls, because you are the greatest stakeholders in governance. You are stakeholders in democratic values, and you are the only one who will carry, as Ambassador Sibal had said, to a developed nation, Bharat at 2047, when some of us may not be around. I can say about myself, I will not be around. So this big change has come in governance. But governance is not sufficient alone. It has to have another change also, and that is economy. Just a decade ago, our country was one of the fragile five, as indicated by Ambassador Sibal, that we are already 5th largest global economy on the planet. We are marched ahead of Canada, UK, and France. In next 2-3 years, we will be marching ahead of Germany and Japan to be the 3rd largest global economy. So that's another big change that has taken place. We could never imagine that a country that was taken to be a burden on the globe, being fragile five, is an asset to the world. That's second. Third, Global institutions used to look down upon us. They used to take India as vulnerable from several aspects. No longer that situation. If we talk about International Monetary Fund, they indicate to the entire world that India's rise amongst large economies is the highest. We are number one ahead of China also. If we go to the other aspect, then World Bank says India is a favorite destination of investment and opportunity. That's not something which we ever dreamt of. So right now the kind of development we are seeing in the country is much beyond at least my dreams, my expectations. I never thought in my lifetime I will see the kind of infrastructure that is all around, and that is for all you to see. The point is that you are walking into a mechanism, taking a big leap in the larger world after getting your degrees, where governance is exactly you want. Wholesome governance, affirmative government policies that allow you to exploit your potential, and an economy that is globally respected, is finally strong. You therefore have enough opportunities and challenges. You can make most of it. If we look around, the technological advancement that has taken place in the country, it is unthinkable. It is beyond belief. In 2022, our digital transactions, boys and girls, were more than 4 times that of USA, UK, France, and Germany taken together. Can you ever imagine it? That our digital transactions, and look at our platform UPI, a platform that is being adopted globally, including by city countries like Singapore. If you look at the genius of our people, the kind of adaptation they have shown to technology is remarkable, unbelievable. We started a few years ago where we hardly had mobile manufacture here in the country. Now we are the second largest in the world. We export, and our internet usage is more than that of per capita, more than that of US and China taken together. It's a big change that is taking place. But good governance, good economy, and technology, what are the results? The results are that people have benefited enormously during COVID and otherwise out of technology. Let me give an illustration to the category to which I belong, that's farmers category. More than 110 million farmers every year thrice get direct into their bank accounts 6,000 rupees. What is significant and important is not that they get the amount from the government. That what is outstandingly important and a game changer, that farmer is equipped to receive it. That's a big change. How did it happen? It didn't happen overnight. Someone thought about it, that there has to be banking inclusion. You cannot have inclusive growth unless you systemically bring about a system whereby everyone can benefit. 500 million people were brought into the banking inclusion by governmental policies. A big change that has been extremely helpful to all of us. That change has come about. That's one. But look around, how are we placed globally? ISRO. We had the good fortune on 23rd August 2023. Chandrayaan 3 landed on the south pole of moon. No one had ever landed there. And we had our imprint, Tiranga and Shakti Point on the moon. We became the first country to achieve that distinction. There was a time when we started, our own satellites were put in space by some other machinery, another mechanism. But now our ISRO has gone to that level that we put in space satellites of countries like USA, UK, and other developed nations. That's where we have gone. Boys and girls, all I'm telling you is, that these big changes have taken place because there is vision, there is passion, there is mission, there is execution by those at the helm of affairs of governance in the country. These big changes are such that the world is stunned. We must take pride in them. If we go a step further, our Vikrant, indigenously made, our frigates indigenously made, our Tejas aircrafts indigenously made, our helicopters indigenously made. We have come a long way. When we look at infrastructure, Bharat Mandapam is one of the 10 top convention centers in the world. But look around Yashobhumi, where you can park more than 3,000 cars and have any kind of exhibition, which even our companies used to go abroad to have them because we didn't have infrastructure. Look at the state of our highways, our airports, our railway stations. Things have dramatically changed, and they have changed because there is concern that society will change only and only when you care for the last man in the row. Our digital penetration is there in the villages. You will get 5G in the villages. And that's a big change that has come about. There was a time, a decade and back, electricity not being available 24/7. Power shortage. All that is behind us. A big change. So our executive has performed beyond expectations, has laid a roadmap in Amrit Kal, which is our Kartavya Kal, which is our Gaurav Kal. Firm foundations have been laid to take our Bharat to be the leading nation of the world, a developed nation in 2047. But you are the ambassadors of that. You are foot soldiers. It will be taken on your shoulders. You bear the responsibility. And you are lucky that you have an ecosystem that doesn't pull you down. It helps you accelerate. It puts you on a fast track. That's the big change has come. When we look around, while we are having phenomenal growth, exponential growth, we are a country that makes available free food available to 800 million people. And that's being done from 1st April 2020. As indicated by the Honorable Prime Minister, it will be continued for next 5 years. A big change. The way we tackled pandemic COVID, the world was stunned. Ambassador Sibal will tell you how powerful it has been in soft diplomacy that we could give our COVID vaccine to about 100 countries. All of them greatly appreciate our gesture. When we held G20, and the motto was something which has been embedded in our civilization ethos of 5,000 years. One earth, one family, one motto. That's how we believe in it. We demonstrate it. Boys and girls always remember, take pride in Bharatiyata. Take pride in being citizens of this great nation. Be proud of the achievements we are having at the moment. I am sometimes very sad when I see knowledgeable minds, informed minds, having indigestible mechanism for growth of this country. They go outside the country or make assertions inside the country, taint, tarnish and demean our constitutional institutions. They go to the extent that India doesn't have a functional democracy. Boys and girls, you are discerning minds. India is the only country in the world, as indicated by Ambassador Sibal, 1/6 of humanity, which has constitutionally structured democracy at the village level, at the Panchayat Samiti level, at Jila Parishad level, at the state level, and at the central level. Let me take you to some of the changes that have taken place in the domain I wear hat of one of them. as chairman of Rajya Sabha, I am extremely gratified to tell you 20th September and 21st September was a historic day. Women reservation bill was passed. Now 1/3 reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state legislatures will take place. Imagine Lok Sabha and state legislature serving women more than 1/3 because they can contest from general category also. And this reservation is horizontal and vertical. There is already reservation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. But within that reservation also you will have 1/3 for women. That's a big change, not a small change. We were in this country being bled by provisions like Article 370. Constitutionally, that article is supposed to be a temporary article. It was bleeding the nation. We could do away with it. The whole nation rejoiced at it. We had a celebratory mood in the country when on 22nd January there was consecration ceremony of Ram Lalla at Ayodhya, a great occasion. But what is significant and which should be noticed, that a pain of 500 years was undone and our aspirations rectified with commitment to righteousness. Through established procedure of law, there was no deviation at all. That is where we are in India today. That is our Bharat. And why not look back? Thousands of years ago we had Nalanda, Takshila, we had governance styles. I would appeal to boys and girls, please read the Indian Constitution as it has been signed by framers of the Constitution. There are 22 paintings there. They reflect depth of our 5,000 years of civilization. Gurukul, Indus Valley, Ram, Sita and Lakshman coming back to Ayodhya. Lord Krishna giving sage advice to Arjuna in Kurukshetra. And down the line. If you look around, you'll find not many countries have civilizational depth in terms of years for more than 500, 600 years, 1,000 years, 5,000 years. Boys and girls, all that I need to indicate to you, that you are well suited at the moment to think out of the box. When it comes to disruptive technologies, as was indicated by Ambassador Sibal, quantum computing, India is one of the countries in single digit to focus on it. Our green hydrogen mission. We are a country which are focusing on 6G technology in two parts. Commercialization of it will take place from 2025 to 2030. These are enormous facilities for you. Our accomplishments as global leadership are reflected. European Union was already a part of G20. But when we had the presidency of G20, we got inclusion of African Union and marked the difference, composition of the countries of the European Union and that of African Union. Very rightly focused by Ambassador Sibal, that we became the voice of Global South. Just imagine what a significant factor in global economy they are, in global demography they are. But we brought them to the center stage. We discovered during G20 a trade route between India, Indian Ocean, Middle East, which was in existence earlier. How proud we feel that when someone is being held hostage on the high seas and the seas of another nation, it is our nation, our navy that rescues them. All I mean to tell you, boys and girls, mood of the nation is upbeat. And last it was seen on 26 January 2024 on Kartavya Path. Could you ever imagine that our woman power will be so explosive, positively so impactful in that large number, outnumbering males in every walk of life. When we have that kind of a situation, we must engage in neutralizing anti-national narratives. The greatest challenge, as I indicated, was that when an informed mind capitalizes on ignorance of people. We had a gentleman who was in driver's seat of economy in the country for 10 years. He came from outside, of course had our origin, went back. The kind of language he speaks, the kind of predictions he makes, and when he is proved so massively wrong that economy cannot rise more than 5%, the rise was at that point of time 7.6%. He has the audacity to speak out, सुपर पावर बनकर क्या करोगे, किसी देश को परेशान करोगे. He is an ignorant mind, a perverted mind, who doesn't know our psyche, who doesn't know our Sanskriti, who doesn't know our civilizational values. This country has never historically engaged in expansion. You never engaged. You are the minds who have to neutralize these kind of narratives, anti-national narratives. If you observe silence at this time, trust me, boys and girls, your silence will resonate in your ears for years to come. You will be thinking, why did I not speak out? We are a country where iconic status is accorded on parameters that are baffling. We label someone as a great journalist, as a great lawyer. Why? We don't ask questions. JNU is the right place, epicenter, nerve center, to engage into this scrutiny and probe. If some outside universities have become hotbeds of anti-Indian narratives, and what a shame to us, those narratives are floated by people of Indian origin, be students or faculty. You have to rise to the occasion to combat these forces, neutralize them, engage into discussions, because it is your obligation first and last to take this nation, Bharat, at 2047 as a world leader. Boys and girls, I should not speak more. Am I right? Well, I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor that I invite students of JNU to visit new building of Parliament. Be my guests, come in batches. And you will have the occasion to see two things. One, how it could be visualized suddenly that we must have a new Parliament building, and how it could be brought about in 30 months. Not a building, everything inside. You will have the occasion to see. You see the big change. We have in Rashtrapati Bhavan a tribal woman of modest background as president of the country. This is a big change that has come about. Last. Very often when someone says last, particularly lawyers, that is never the last argument. But I'll keep it last. Never be under tension, never be under stress. Never a fear of failure. Act as per your aptitude. Heavens have never fallen, I have checked up historically. And science tells me they can never fall. You can trust me to that extent. Do what you feel like. Vistas are enormous for you. The government policies are amazing. And last of the last, I express a great sense of gratitude to JNU. I am beholden to JNU. Before coming to this place, I was presiding Rajya Sabha. On my right was India's finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. She is the spine of Indian economy. A world leader in economics. She has stirred Indian economy to that big height. your alumnus. Next to her was Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's Foreign Minister. You must have released his statements in the country and outside. It is beyond argument now. India's foreign policy is determined by India, for India's cause, for India's interest. So when foreign affairs and economics is concerned, the nation will be ever in gratitude to JNU. Respect your teachers, respect your parents, be in connect with your colleagues. This connect will be nectar of life as you march in your journey ahead. Thank you so much. Be ever blessed.
इदानीं राष्ट्रगानं भविष्यति, कृपया उत्तिष्ठन्तु.
The national anthem.
Ring